So, guys, we are going to continue from where we actually stopped. So, for question number 10, guys, we are still on quantitative reasoning. Please take note of that. All right. So, for this question number 10, we have this particular word problem, and we need to interpret it mathematically in order for us to get the final result here. Okay. So, the correct option is here as option A, but we need to understand the exact question here. Okay. So, if I want to solve question number 10, it says, who can pronounce this? Bonary or what? Bonary was, what do you call it? Can you say that again, please? Can you pronounce this again? Somebody just say something now. Who's that? Yeah, yeah, please go ahead. I can hear you. I'm with you. Okay, I think, okay, you just joined, no wonder. Let me try to show you the exact position that we are using. And this is the exact pic we are using. This study pack here. Are you familiar with this? The one with 154 pages, all right? Yeah, from which group? Is it my serious NNPC study? No. I'm not sure. They would have dropped it, but probably maybe you joined the group late. You understand? All right. You know what? Okay. He's on. I'm very sure he's on that group. But you know what? I will definitely drop it after this session. I'll drop it on that group too. All right. I'll do that. Okay. So guys, let me just go straight to the point. So I've been able to explain this part, so I don't need to waste our time again. For those that are just joining, you can read through the test guide. All right. So I said you've been able to solve question number 1 to 9. So the next thing is to solve question number 10. Hello, what's your class more? Right. So guys, let me try to adjust this. So now I want to start with question number 10, which says Boneri was 24 when his son. Which kind of name is this? My God, for God's sake. Ibifuro, what is this? I can't really pronounce it, but let's just proceed. If Boneri was 24 when his son was born, okay, so I can interpret this statement mathematically. That's the major thing. All right, I can say, let the son's age. Why is this thing moving like this? Guys, please hold on. I'm having issue with my digital board pen. I'm coming. Let me try to fix that. So from this first statement, I want to let the son's age represent X. Okay, we don't know the age of the son, but we know the age of the father. Let's say the father's age is 24, right? Boneri was 24 when the son was born. So we don't know, okay, probably when the son was born, I will let's represent X in order for me to represent Boneri's age, which is the father's age, right? The father's age should be X plus 24. Okay? Even though if the child was born today, that means I'm 24 years older than that child. You get. So this is the right mathematical expression for it. Up to this point here. So if I proceed with the statement, it says if binary is now 3 times as old as a son. So let's say this time around, what I have here, okay, let's say I represent the father's age to be Y. If the son's age represents X, and then we let the father's age represent Y. I hope I'm not too fast. Hope I'm not too fast. Thank you. So if the son's age represents X, I will let the father's age represent Y, which means the father's age is equals to, since the father is 24 years when the son was born, so I can write it as Y equals to X plus 24. This statement here, this equation here is for the first sentence that we have here. Okay. Now, if that same father is now three times as old as his son. That same father, which means y is now equals to, okay? The father is now three times. So I want to interpret it mathematically. Three times as old as his son. Remember that the son age, we don't know the exact age, but we know that the son was actually born, right? And we already represent it to be what? To be X. So I hope I've been able to interpret this clearly now. If the father is now three times as old as his son. So this is where we are now, and I've been able to interpret it. And this becomes equation two. Okay. So now that we have y equals to this and y is equals to 3x, so I can easily get the son's age from this interpretation, this mathematical expression that we have on the screen. Okay. If I go ahead and deduce or evaluate or break down these two equations, I will definitely get the value for x, which is very, very easy to do. From equation two, it is clearly seen that y is equals to 3x because 3 times x is 3x. So if I substitute this 3x into equation 1, right, since y is equals to 3x, recall that y is equals to x plus 24, which is coming from equation 1, right? And if y is already equals to 3x from this second statement, just substitute your y as 3x, which is what I have here, equals to, then I have x here, then plus 24. I hope you guys are following. Are we on the same page? Good. Now you can easily solve this by saying, you collect like terms, you take this x to the left hand side of the equation, and there's an invisible plus here, right? So if this plus x moves to the left hand side, it becomes negative x equals then plus 24. And if I subtract this, I have it as 2x equals to 24, and which implies that x is 12. I divide both sides by the coefficient of x. I went So these two, we cancel out these two, then you have x left, and 24 divided by 2 is absolutely 12. So now that we have the result for x, right, you can easily get this expression here. Okay. But one thing is, there is another statement here which says, how many years ago was the father four times as old as the son? So this is the main question that will give us the final result. So I can easily interpret this guy for you. All right. How many years ago? So if I let n represent the number of years ago, okay, if n, I don't know what n is. I should have used x because that's what I want to look for. If you are looking for something when it comes to word problem, if you don't know what to use, we always use letter x. All right. But since I've already used x to represent the son's age and I've used y, so the highest thing I can actually use is I'll need to pick another letter. So I'm using n to represent the number of years ago. All right. Okay, number of years ago. So now, if I want to interpret this, how many years ago was the father four times as old as his son? So that's the main thing now. Do you have a question? Did somebody just raise his hands? Okay, no one. Now, in this case, I'm going to interpret, I'm going to create another mathematical expression for how many years ago. If we have y representing which represent the father's age, and then we have x which represents the son's age. So all I know is that for the father, I can have it as y minus n, right? As at how many years ago, I'll subtract n, and then is equals to four times as old as his son. And for some years back, the son's age too represents x minus n. So I think this should be the right expression for this statement. Okay. So as far as I've been able to let n represent the number of years ago. You have a question, please just go ahead and unmute. I can't go back and I'm using whiteboard. If you have a question, just feel free to unmute and talk, please. Juliet, you want to ask question? Okay. All right. Let me just proceed. So, for how many years ago I was able to interpret the statement in this case for the father, and then for how many years ago for the son I was able to interpret this. Okay, but according to the statement, it says how many years ago was the father, which is this, equals 4 times as old as the son. So I already used y minus the number of years ago for the father and the number of years ago for the son. And then we have this expression. So now that x is already 12, what will be the father's age? If x is 12, I can easily substitute either year or year to get the value for y. So if x is 12, I have 12 plus 2 here. What's 12 plus 2? That's 36. If I substitute here, I will still get the same result, which satisfy the two equations. Okay, 3 times 12 is 36. If I slot it here, I will still have 36. So y is already 36. So now looking at this, I can substitute my y as, x is 12 and y is 36 straight up. So if I slot it here, I have 36 minus n equals 4 times x is 12. Based on what we have, x is 12, right? Can you guys hear me? So we have x is 12 here and then minus n. So guys, this is what we want to solve for. So let's just hope we get the final results. I'm very sure it's going to work based on this interpretation. Okay, so then we have 4 times 12, which is 48, then minus n. And okay, from here, minus 4n. Thank you, minus 4n. Yeah, sure. If you open up this bracket, 4 will multiply 12, and then the 4 will multiply minus n. Thank you for that. So do I still have enough space? Permit me to write it here. So then we stop at 36 minus n equals to 48 minus 4n. So if I collect like terms by taking this negative 4n to the to the left hand side, and I take this to the right hand side. Okay, minus 4n will come like this, it becomes plus 4n, and I already have a negative n here, and I have 48 on the right hand side. So 36 will come here, it becomes negative 36. And that is 4n minus n, that's 3n, equals to 48 minus 36, that's 12, right? That's 12. And if I divide both sides by 3, which means the number of years ago that I was looking for is 4, which is A. And that is correct. So you have to be very, very fast with some of these questions. Even though if you are looking for shortcuts, you will not see. No matter how it is, I can assure you that. Most of the questions I've been seeing so far in this QR section, you have to interpret them mathematically, like in form of algebra, before you can actually solve it correctly. But there are some questions that if you just look at it, you can easily detect the final result. So it's not that shortcut is happening in that kind of question, but it's just that the question is direct. It's very, very trivial to get the final result. But questions like this might feel like, why are we going through all this stress? I can boldly tell you that it is because I was actually trying to explain this to you guys. That's why it's taking a lot of time. Because you feel like, this will take a lot of time. Probably it will take you 5 minutes. No, it's not. Let's say I'm seeing this question for the. Yeah, go ahead, please. I'm too. Okay. I don't get that question. You mean if you come across this kind of question now, like, do you need to solve? No, you need to solve and then you pick the right answer. Yeah. Is that's this is what we also like this study pack now, so we just have to study everything. We are not sure, we are, so you can come across any question, but this is CBT questions. This is exactly computer based test. All right, so it's not theoretical aspect, it's not theoretical question. All right, you just need to be very, very fast with it. That's it. Though I was trying to explain this, that's why it took a lot of time. And even I want to solve this, I'll be very, very fast with it. At least this should take me 2 minutes. Or possibly, if I'm very, very fast, let me try to. Guys, please take a screenshot of this. Take a screenshot of this so I can explain something. I think I actually said that yesterday. Are you guys taking the screenshots? Can I go ahead and clean this? All right, thank you. So I'm going to clear it off now. You see, if it is, let's say you're inside the exam hall now and you're trying to solve this question, you don't need to write all this, recall that, all these things that I'm writing, let X represent. You already know what you need. Just go straight to the point. You get my point? So I'm going to act as if I want to solve the question inside the exam hall. So guys, you don't need to um, finalize by saying this question it can't come out. It's very question. No, it's not. Okay, you can come across question that is similar to this. So I just need to be very, very fast with it. So I don't need to write anything like let X represent. I don't know what X represents. Now looking at this is the father and the age is 24, right? I don't know the age of the son, right? And I can easily interpret this. The father is now, I don't know that the father, I'm using X as the son, I'm using Y as the father. You have been able to detect that on your own, probably in your mind. So now, if the father is now, the only thing I just need to interpret is this. If the father is now 3 times as old as the son, I'll just say y is equals to 3x. You get that logic? And for this first part, the father was 24 when his son was born. So y is equals to just x plus 24. The son's age at that time plus, the father will be older than the son. So that's why I use this. So I've been able to interpret this too. And you have to be very, very fast with it. Okay. So now looking at this, I can easily solve for x by saying, okay, y is already 3x. Without even, I don't need to even write 3x again. Because looking at this, I can easily skip step by saying 3x is here, x is here. If I take this one to the other side, it is 2x. If I divide both sides by 2, it's 12. So you see that I don't even bother to, that is x is equals to 12 without even showing the workings. So I skip some parts. So we call it just, you're trying to skip the steps, okay? Y is 3x. If I slot it here, I don't need to write it down again. You writing it down, it will take you another second. That's 1 second, 2 seconds, equals to 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds. Now, for you to take this one to the other side, take another 2 seconds, making 8 seconds. Before you know it, then you now write 3x minus x. This one will take a lot of time. So from here, you can just make it trivial by saying this is 3x. If this one comes like this, it becomes 2x. Okay, 2x is equals to 24. If I divide both by 2, that's 12. So I already have my final answer as 12. Okay, x is 12. If I put it here, okay, straight up, y is 12 times 3, that's 36. For the main question, I'll just read this question. How many years ago was the father 4 times? Okay, number of years ago represents n. So as at n years ago, the father will be y minus n equals 4 times, okay, as at n years ago, the child's age will be x minus n. So this is what I want to solve for. And y is already 36 minus n is equals to 4 times x is already 12 minus n. So now it's left for you to solve this in a very fast way. Okay, you have to be very, very fast with this. This is the only thing that will just take your time. Right? And then you have 36 minus n is equals to 48 minus 4n. Then you take this to the other side, that is 3n. Take this to this side, 48 minus 30. Sometimes you don't need to rewrite what you are trying to solve because there is no time. If you write this, it will take a lot of time. Probably if you have a worksheet with you, probably are trying to show your workings. They don't need our workings. We only need our final answers to pick, right? So you writing 48 minus 36 will take a lot of time. So you already know that you bring this one to this side. So you don't need to write it out again. Just subtract it in your head. 48 minus 36. Oh, that's 12. Straight up. Okay, this cancel this. N is what? 4. So at least this should take us 1 minute and some seconds. You get you get my point now, right? So are we clear on question number 10 now? Is that clear, guys? So if you are still trying to look for shortcuts, I can bet it to you, you will not see you. I'm not sure that if there's any other way, though you can make your research and get other shortcuts. But what this is the actual solution that I can actually assure you guys. All right. So you need to interpret. Ah, initially so. Alafe, Alafe one industry oil and gas. So we don't have choice. But we just need to. One thing is Constant practice. If you try to practice ahead, no matter how it is, if you see some question, you'll be able to solve them correctly. It's better you practice it than not to practice at all. That's one thing. Imagine we solving up to 30 questions before the exam period, before the exam day. All right. If you solve 30 questions, like I mean 30 quantitative reasoning questions, no matter how it is, if you see 10 questions from that real exam, you should be able to flow with it. You can easily interpret and then you solve. It's just that you need to be very, very fast with the timing. That's it. And one thing is, I noticed that if you want to use the on-screen calculator, it will even waste your time the more. All right. Let's say 48 minus 36, you are in a hot seat, you can't easily subtract, and then you feel like, there is on-screen calculator now. What if I use the on-screen calculator? If you come here and then you press, before you click on this is why I said the on-screen calculator will waste your time is if I press this clear button now, and then you want to do 38, before you press 3, you press it one after the other, 3, 8, then minus, all this thing will take a lot of time, minus 26, I think. Is it 26? I can't really remember. And then you press equal to. See, it will take a lot of time. Then you now have to click the outside area. Then, depending on how the interface is. So, guys, we just need to be very, very fast with the solution. That's the major thing. So, is this clear now? Can I proceed to the next question? What do you say? All right, can you please go ahead? Feel free to ask. No, 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 no. For questions like this, it's just like this is like jam questions too. Looking at it, okay, it's like jam questions too, but more of this is more of business maths. Yeah, good evening, boss. I'm with you. Yeah. The only the the only experience that I've had with all the CBT tests, like Dragnet test, I think I was opportune to take Dragnet test. I think one scholarship exam like that. So this is how it works. Like it's of I think it's of four different sections. There is quantitative reasoning, there is verbal reasoning, there is current affairs, and there is numerical reasoning too, and there is abstract reasoning. You get there's quantitative reasoning, verbal reasoning, numerical reasoning, and abstract reasoning. Yeah, abstract reasoning. Just this. Okay, there's no QR. Their QR represent NR in that case. So they only gave us VR, NR, and AR. I remember that this one has 10 questions. So it was it 10 or 15? I can't really remember. Let's say this one had 20 questions. This one was less, 15 question. This one too was like 20 question. And then the current affairs about Lagos State, something like that. Yeah. It was much. I think that one too was 20. Okay. So they decided to take it into batches. Like the first thing that I saw on my screen was that I have 20 minutes to answer this question. So I can't just jump to the next one. I have to finish this one first. You get my point? Do you get that logic? Like this is the first batch of question that was given to me that was being displayed on the screen. They said I have 20 minutes to answer this question. So then once I click on start now, I will only have access to solve to start with VR. And I was not opportune to select any other one. So it's based on the section that is being given to me. So it's that clear, guys. So I don't know how this one is going to be. I don't know how this one is going to be. So if they give you the QR first to do based on the timing, you guys do well, manage that time. So the time will be given. I'm very, very sure it's similar to this because looking at this study pack now, it was stated there. Let me show you guys. It was stated there. Can you see? This diagrammatic reasoning, they say it has 30 questions and it's in part A. So that means they said we are required to answer 120 questions in 120 minutes. So if it's all together, then if you can skip around, so it's better you start with other ones, other sections like the current affairs, do that one. So maybe it depends. It depends on your choice, yeah. It depends on your choice. You get. depend on your choice. And if it is being segmented, probably you are expected to do this one first. And maybe they said you need to spend 20 minutes on this. So make sure that you maintain your time. All right. So that's just it. So once it is 20 minutes, if they give you 20 minutes for verbal reasoning, once it's 20 minutes, then the team will log you out. Then you see another pop up like saying start with abstract reasoning or start with quantitative reasoning. You get that logic now. Then you have another 20 minutes to start with that. So that was how the Dragnet test looks like. So is that clear, guys? So have I been able to answer your question, boss? All right, thank you. So, guys, for question number 11, hey, is that okay? I was able to detect that from this same study pack because I tried to check for. Let me reduce this. Let me zoom it out. So, guys, this is what I noticed. I noticed that this particular question for QR it has 300 questions. 300. So let me just view it directly from here so you can all see. Ah, it's going to take a lot of time. I'm coming. Okay, guys, for this QR started from this page 4. QR started from this page 4, and it ends here. It ends somewhere around there, up to 300 questions. It ends here. Then followed by verbal reasoning. So what I noticed was after scrolling to where we have the abstract reasoning, so there was a particular question that I saw there. I don't know, that should be page 600. Sorry. For the abstract reasoning, it should be some. See this abstract reasoning here. This is where abstract reasoning started from. I was able to. I said I've actually taken Dragnet test before. So when I opened this PDF, was it not 2 days ago? So I was like, let's even check what we have in abstract reasoning. So I saw this first question. This first question number one. This question number one. Then I noticed that I've practiced this thing before, and it's inside Dragnet test. So I was able to recall. You get my point. I was able to recall that this particular diagram, this particular problem here is in Dragnet test. And I saw the second one too. The same thing. I've practiced it before. And I click next. I still remember this same question because this thing is just like saying you have a single circle. You should have two circles. And the third one you should have three circles. What I noticed is that this is one, this is two. If this one has three circles, three small circles each, but this one does not have four circles. What I notice is that we have 2 raised to the power of 0 here, which is 1. We are expected to have one circle. 2 raised to the power of 1, 2 raised to the power of 1 is 2, you get. So that's why we have two circles each. Now, 2 raised to the power of 3 should be 8. So I'm expected to have like 2 raised to the power of 2 should be 4. So I'm excited to have like four circles bonded together. All right, in this case. Now, 2 raised to the power of 3 is 8. That's why we have 8 bundles of circles here. You get. So the answer should be something like it should be A or B, the one with four circles. So I remember that I've been able to do something like this before. So I checked the Dragnet past question and I saw it there too. So let me show you guys. Is there what do you say? Are you for real? Can others see my screen? Can you guys see my screen? Are you sure it's not from your end? Because I'm sharing my. Or you can try to disconnect and then join again. Probably maybe it's your network. Okay, maybe it's a network glitch. All right. So guys, this first one, can you see the Dragnet test? So if I open this Dragnet aptitude test, it's going to take a lot of time. Based on the number of pages. That's why this thing has been loading. Uh, ah, can you guys still hear me? My sis, my system don't want to go. It's already loading. But let's just. But one thing is, what do you say? Don't worry, it will load. It's still loading, Sha. I can't click on anything, as you can see. So, but what I was trying to say is that if you open this Dragnet aptitude test, if you open it, all right, and then if you go straight to page 622, you will see this same diagram, this same problem, this same abstract reasoning problem. You see it there. From number one, I think this one has up to 30 questions. Like the abstract reasoning question said, they're up to 30. And if you check this Dragnet test too, is actually in order from that 1 to 30 completely, completely like that, 1 to 30. And we still even have more inside dragnet test. So that means for this study pack now, we need to study everything. Guys, it's up now. So if I check with 200, 622, sorry, this numerical text, let me go down a little bit. So 622, 6, 622. If you can see that diagram, just confirm if it's the same. So I'm going to open this one first. Let's see. So it's the same thing. So that was why I felt probably for the abstract reasoning, we can practice, we can try to study this one now. We can just study this. And this is just one part. So that means if you see, can you see it now? You see that it's the same. It's the same thing. Check the first question. See that it's the same. Check the second page. It's the same. Third one. And this was the exact thing that happened. And this one is from the dragnet test. So that means we still have a lot to do. Probably from this, this thing will take a lot of time to load again. But do you guys understand what I was trying to say? Okay. So now for this dragnet test, now we really have this is for part 5 under abstract reasoning. So let's just say as at year 2019, I don't know for that exam year, I don't know. Probably maybe this is what they focus on for this abstract 5. This is where they pick it from. So who knows whether for our own set they'll pick it from abstract 2, from abstract 8, who knows? That is if this study pack, that's only if this study pack is true. If this study pack, or if it is true that that is the past question that was being asked then. You get my point. So guys, can I proceed? Or do you still have any question before I? All right. So let's just hold on for a while. This is still loading. So we are still on question number 10 since so. Guys, this meeting is going to end in the next 15, in the next 18 minutes. So once it ends, you know what to do, right? Just click on the second link. You get my point? Do you all get that? Please take note. All right. Uh, and if I open it directly from, let me just open it from here. I think I should have it here. No, it's not here. No, my system is malfunctioning this night. I want to open the PDF. I know what's wrong. Okay. I think I have it here. So let me open it up. But this is not the exact PDF you are using. It's not the same. Well, let me go back to this whiteboard again. Is it up now? Oh, this thing is playing me. Guys, let's just hold on while it loads. Okay, it's still coming up. Hey, God, still got all time to load. All right. What is this? Yeah, now open up now. Ah, God. Yeah, now. Okay. So I can scroll up and down, but I can't click. Interesting. Or is it my network? This is not using data now. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Let me go back to Chrome. Let me go back to Chrome. God. Where is this PDF? For? Okay, I've seen it is there. I've seen it is there. So this is the exact one that we are using. So let me try to download it again. So I can open it up. So the case if the whiteboard is not coming up. There's no time to waste. Okay, the download is working now. Alright. Come on, come on, come on, come on. So let me open this up. Guys, this is what we have, and we are still on. Ah, this is past question. It's not the one. You know, it's too much of past questions, but it's not the one. What's going on? What's going on? Let me just quit the whiteboard and reopen it. That would be the best option. Let me open it again. So, guys, we are still on question number 10. Just one question since. But we must finish the 10 questions. That's the main target. Because I want us to solve question number 10 up to question 15. So, let's hope this thing works again. Okay, documents. Okay, for that. All right. So, guys, we are currently on page, actually page 8 or page 9. No, previous page. So, can you guys hear me now? Can you all see the screen? The background noise. Sorry for that, Jerry. I thought guys in So, guys, let me try to move this to the left. So we have. So we want to solve question number 11. And question number 11 is very, very trivial. So we don't need to solve anything. Looking at it, you can easily detect the final result. So it's not something that is really difficult like that. So let me try to connect my pen. Why is it not working? So, guys, for question number 11, we have Amakiri bought a bike for 20 naira, right? And gave the bike dealer a check of 30 naira to pay for it. You get that point? So, he now said the bike dealer, okay, the bike dealer persuaded a shopkeeper to change the check for him. And then Amaka, having received his 10 naira change, rode off on the bike and was not seen again. Well, this man has scam. Later, the check was found to be valueless, and the bike dealer had to refund the shopkeeper the amount he had received. So, the bike dealer had bought the bike for what's this? For 10 naira. How much did the bike dealer lose altogether? But they should have arrested this person. So, if you want to answer this question, it's very straightforward. Though this person bought the bike for 20 naira, okay, so the best way to interpret this is I can also see that okay, he issued out a check of 30 naira to pay for it, and which means this bike dealer will definitely give that person the change, like 10 naira change. All right, do you get that logic? You understand that part, right? Just as if you are trying to sell something and then you sold it for 20 naira, that person give you 30 naira. That means you give the person 10 naira change, all right? And at the end of the day, the bike dealer actually presented the check to the shopkeeper, and the person rode off. And what happens? The check was found to be valueless, and the bike, you bought the bike for 10 naira. So how much should be the loss altogether? That should be 10 naira. So the best way to interpret this is, can you guys hear me? That should be 20 naira, right? Do you all agree with that? Or you still want me to explain it better? Do you understand that part? This is just direct. Just read through it, and it should be 20 naira loss. That is the amount loss from the exact check, from the check, and from the amount of the bike too. She gets the amount lost for the check is 10 naira. You actually gave a change of 10 naira, right? And then at the end of the day, for the bike too, difference between this and this is 10. That makes it 20 naira. So I hope that is clear, guys. Is that clear? Okay, so let me just. It's not clear. Hey, diplomatic bye. It's not. Okay, let me still try to see if I can actually represent it this way. So I wanted to read the question clearly and understand it. So let me just give 1 minute to do that. Just read the question clearly. All right. If you read it clearly and understand, then you know what to do. All right. So once I bring in my own explanation, then you understand it better. So read this question clearly and understand what it's saying. Just as if this person is a scammer, normal. The person already drove off and was not later seen again with Jelobe. And what now happens? You need to read it. Just read the question. You definitely understand what is going on there. I'm only giving you 1 minute to do that. This 8:52. So once it's 8:53, I'll try to start with to provide the solution to it. Okay, this 8:53 now. So let me try to analyze this. So if I analyze the transaction that is happening in this problem, if I analyze the transaction, you can easily agree with me that the dealer successfully received how much? Received a check of what? A check which worth 30 naira. Okay? But what happened? But he later discovered, that is the bike dealer later discovered that this check is invalid. He later discovered that it was invalid, right? Okay. And then what happens next? Also, you can as well agree with me that the dealer, okay, gave that man, that Amaki, a change of 10 naira. Okay, you can as well agree with me that the dealer gave Amakiri the bike, after paying. The first thing is to give the person the bike, which worth how much? Which worth 20 naira. 20 naira, thank you. And what happens? He gave you the check, he hand over the check to you, okay? And then you gave that person the bike, which worth 20 naira. And at the same time, you definitely give that person the change, right? And you gave 10 naira in cash as change, right? As change. Why is my pen misbehaving? Oh, God. So do you get that? So do you get that point now? And then at the same time, you want to calculate the total loss. Was how much the bike dealer lost altogether. So what will be the total loss? That's the main question. So the total loss now should be, we need to determine the loss from the bike itself. The loss from the bike. The loss from the bike implies that he bought the bike for 10, he sold it for 2. You can easily, and at the end of the day, you know the check was fake. So automatically speaking, there is a loss of what will be the loss from the bike? It's still 10 naira from there straight. It's 10 naira. Thank you. And then that's not all. Now the loss from the check itself, the cash that was being issued as well. That is the loss from the invalid check will also be 10 naira too as well from the invalid check. Don't mind my handwriting, please. The pen is not that writing. It's really malfunctioning. So the loss from the invalid check too, how much? There's a loss of 10 naira too as well. So what will be the total loss if I sum this together? Is it not 20 naira? 20 naira. So you see, this is the highest thing that can actually explain it. If you still don't understand. So guys, is it clear now? Okay, good. Thank you. So you can take a screenshot, Sha. You can take a screenshot. So guys, my plan now is to solve this question. Though I'll try to solve the question. You get. Okay, there's a way I can actually type it in a very fast way. So I'll type the question, probably the question and the solution. Okay, and the solution will be well simplified. So should the case if you can't finish everything, I'm very, very sure you must have seen question number 23 and you don't know how to solve it, but you can only see the final results. And then you have been trying to solve the question and probably you're not getting the right option. So you end up cramming. That's the normal thing that we have been doing right from time. So I'll try my possible best to provide solutions to all the 300 questions that we have for the QR. I'm working on it, though I've been able to provide solutions to question number 1 to 30. So I'll make sure I speed up the work. I'll make sure I solve everything completely with well simplified solution. Even though you looking at the solution itself, you can easily digest it and understand. Okay. So there's no need for you to look for anybody that will teach you. You looking at it. Imagine for this question number 11, and I write this. You seeing this, and then you read the first statement, second statement. You understand. You will definitely understand what is going on. You understand. You get the solution clearly. So I try my possible best to. I'll try my possible best to do the same thing for the rest of the questions, and then probably if I'm able to convert it to PDF, I'll send it to you guys. So latest Tuesday, I will make sure I drop the PDF, like the complete solution to the QR section. Okay, so I'll make sure I drop it. So please, guys, once I drop it, you need to practice ahead. That's the main thing. All right. So I wish us all the best. So let me try to clear this. Have you guys taken a screenshot? Can I clean this? Good. So now we need to move straight to the next question. That's question number 12. How many minutes do we have left, guys? How many minutes? 4 minutes. Okay. All right. Thank you. So let me scroll up a little bit. Let's see what we have in question number 12. So, this question. This question we used to call it, what I noticed here is that we are trying to get, okay, there's a distance from Oakland to Pinewood, and then from Pinewood back to Oakland. So it's as if you are rotating, how will I put it? So let me try to see if I can actually break this down so that you guys will understand it better. So we used to call it a round trip. Okay, let me put it that I don't want to use any other word. So the best words that I can actually use for you to understand is when you see question like this, Oakland to Pinewood, then Pinewood back to Oakland. Sometimes it might not be location, you might not see it as this. It might be so they might give you any subject here to another subject, and that another subject you have to take it back to the original subject. So it depends on how the question looks like. So this pattern of question we used to call it a round trip problem. What I say? A round trip word problem. Word problem. A round trip word problem. So now if I want to interpret this now, I'll start with this, which says the drive from Oakland to Pinewood was a tricky one. So what happens? I covered the uphill distance at okay. I covered the uphill distance of 55 miles. 55 miles represents distance, right? While this one is the speed. How was I able to detect that this one is distance and this one is speed? It's based on the unit. Just like saying if you have 40 meters, okay, I can say this is length. From the unit, I can easily tell that this is length, you get, or it might be breadth, depending. Like based on the measurement, I can say this is length. But if it is miles, can you say this is height? I can't call it height now. So this is normally for distances that we use miles or kilometers, something like that. So this is distance. Now this one I have miles per hour. Okay, miles with respect to hour, that is speed. That's the unit of speed. Okay, so since this is distance and this is speed, so I can easily calculate the total time spent. But one thing is, let's take the uphill distance first, which is from Oakland to Pinewood, right? And then after that, we'll now look for the downhill too, which is the vice versa of it. Okay, the return journey from Pinewood back to Oakland was the downhill. So if I want to look for, okay, before I even solve for anything, we all believe that speed is always equals to distance over time. If you like, inside that exam, you go and write speed, write distance in full, you're on your own. Why can't you just write S and write D and T alone? Because for you to write P, E, E, and D, it take a lot of time. You get that logic now. So because you already know what you want to do. So just write S, D, and T. That's all. Okay. So now that we have speed is equals to, how many minutes do we have left, guys? This 1 minute. Can you hear me? Abi Google Meet. Let me check. Can you guys hear me? Wow. I think I have to join the other link. Interesting. Where is this? It's not sending. Let me join the other one. So hello guys, can you hear me? Hello. I'm trying to admit other people in. All right, let me try to admit others too. I just opened the link now, so come in. What's wrong with this thing? Okay. What's it on? Can you guys hear me? Hello. Okay. So I'm trying to admit other people in, but my system is hanging on because it's lagging. Just hold on. Oh, God. Okay, I think it's up now. Start like 24. Okay. I think we are up to 24 now. 25. Okay, that's cool. So let me just go ahead and share my screen. All right. So kindly please confirm if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen now? Is it up now? Or is it not yet? Or is coming up? Just hold on. My system is really lagging. I don't know. 9. You can see it now, right? Okay, good. I don't even know the exact word I'm using. Let me click this part. Is not is it this one? No. Let me try the second one. Okay, I think this is the exact word that we are using. So can you please confirm if you can still see my screen? Can you see this exact page? Can you see the whiteboard? Okay, good. So I was trying to explain this question earlier, right? So we have a round trip word problem in this case, which is question number 12. Guys, okay. All right, let me try to stop this first. Once this thing exceeds 1 hour, I won't be able to save it. So let me save the screen record.